What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Courtland Sutton and his route running ability and just his overall play at the wide receiver position. And guys, if you like this video, please leave in the comments any questions you guys have or the next video that you guys want to see. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get started. And also, guys, if you're a receiver and you want to get better at recognizing coverages, understanding defenses, check out that link in the description. Let's get started. So he's going to be running kind of a sluggo here, okay? So 3 steps to this slant, and then three hard steps on this slant, stud and stick, and then break up on a vert. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he's coming off here. So bam, 1, 2, 3, sudden stick. Let's burst upfield, working this sluggo route. Ball's a little bit underthrown, but it's a great job showing late hands, making this catch in traffic. So when he's coming off the line here again, we want to be fast, right? Everything is looking the exact same. Everything's looking like we're just running a quick slant, or maybe we're going to be breaking this thing up and running the post. It's a little bit longer of a sluggo route, I would suggest. So they're kind of kicking up a little bit longer into almost like a post. They want to sell like we're working a post here. So now, when he makes this stick, it's very sudden to the post, right? Everything about this says post because it's very sudden right here, like he's just running a normal post route. And what does he do? He shoots his eyes quick. Eyes quick back to the inside. He commits his shoulders to the inside. Now, what does that do? That's going to get a reaction out of this DB because he wants to jump this thing, right? Man coverage. His eyes are on his hip. He's trying to play this thing. So in man, you could see his eyes are on his hip, right? That's how DBs are taught. That's the discipline coverage that they're taught. So when you get their eyes on their hips, if you commit your hips, right? We commit my hips to this post, this slant. If it's a post corner, if it's a corner post, out and up, you commit your hips and you commit your shoulders and you commit your eyes. That sells it that much more. So now he takes it off 3 hard steps to the inside. Now, when we change direction here, I don't want to telegraph this move. I don't want to lunge out. I don't want to reach for it. And Sutton doesn't do that. 1, 2, 3, real sudden. And when we're sudden with it, we change direction faster, right? And it's more explosive and it shoots me upfield and it's going to get a reaction out of these defenders, right? So that's what we got to be able to do. Anytime we're working a double move, we want to have a sudden break to the first part of the move and then a sudden break to the second part of the move. And that's what Sutton does. And then he bursts upfield. Now you can see here, now he knows he's got him beat. Let's shoot my eyes around. I know this ball's going to be up in the air and he's going to be trying to hit me in stride. Ball's underthrown now. So when it's underthrown, I don't want to stick my hands out here because these defenders are closing the distance and they're going to rip through my arms, right? So he has late hands, right? Late hands lets this thing fall right in the bucket because it doesn't give these defenders any time to react to this ball, okay? So we want to have late hands on this catch. Let's not show my hands too early, right? Because then we're going to get ripped through. Anytime this ball is coming deep downfield and there are defenders around us, we want to have late hands to make sure that they don't make a play on the ball. It's a great overall rep by Courtland Sutton. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Your eyes are going to get you separation, but committing your shoulders and committing your hips is what's going to get you separation on a double move as well. So you got to do those 3 things. Commit your eyes, commit your shoulders and hips, and be very sudden with whatever break that we're making. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So he's coming out here. Break, 1, 2, 3. Very sudden, explode upfield. That's a great job by Courtland Sutton. Okay, so this route right here, we're going to talk about just his play in the red zone. And obviously, he's a big physical guy. So if you're a big physical receiver, right, you mismatch, a lot of mismatches with these DBs. When we throw this ball up in the air, let's go get it. You know what I mean? Let's be physical. Who's going to be more physical, right? So let's watch this thing full speed. Not going to focus too much on this release. Kind of tries to give him a little bit of a freeze off the line, a little hesitation. And he goes up and just takes this thing from that DB. That's what we got to have when we're a big physical receiver, right? So this ball's up in the air. I get this question asked a lot. How do I go up and how do I win jump balls? How do I win 50-50 balls? And it's really, honestly, number 1, it's a mindset thing. And number 2, I got to be violent with my hands and I got to take this thing from the DB. So you see when he goes up, it's a mindset thing. He's already starting to make a play on this ball. He doesn't just wait for it. I'm going to go get this thing. I'm going to go take it from him. And when we're in this situation, we want to be as aggressive as possible. Let's take it from this DB. And when we take it from him, we get this ball in our hands. Let's rip it back. Let's be aggressive. We got to rip this thing away from the DB and go straight to the tuck, and that's exactly what he does. And you see he rips it straight to the tuck. Anytime we're working a jump ball, guys, let's say this quarterback threw it back shoulder here, and he has to turn with it. Same idea. I want to go up aggressive. I want to have a strong grip, and I want to take this thing from the DB and go straight to the tuck, protect the ball, and fall on it. That's exactly what Sutton does right here. And you bigger receivers, that's how we're a red zone threat. Our quarterback gives us a chance above the rim. We got to go take that chance. We got to rip this ball from the DB. It's a great job by Courtland Sutton. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off here, little hesitation at the line, and then coming up, let's take this thing from the DB. Aggressive hands, rip that thing from him. So this is him in college, and I apologize for the writing here, but you could still see the route that we're going to talk about. I got this video clip from when he was in college, and I got this off of Twitter, so there's a little bit of writing on it. I apologize for that. But let's watch this open field crossover right here. This is just the bread and butter if you're coming from the slot and you're running a route and a linebacker is manned up on you. This is the bread and butter. You want to close the gap, right? Close the gap and give him a 1-2. Okay, so he gives a 1-2. He goes left, right. So let's watch this thing full speed. Close the gap, 1-2. Quick feet, restack him, then go up again and get this ball. Aggressive hands. Let's take this thing from that DB, okay? Let's take this thing from that linebacker. So anytime we got a squat linebacker or a safety walks down, we could even work this from the outside right here with this corner. This guy's squatting, right? This is easy money because we're closing the distance with him, right? What we're hoping for is maybe a back pedal, and then we could still give him that same 1-2 move. And if he stands there stagnant, if he stands there with his feet, it's just like I'm playing basketball. I'm working a crossover on an easy target, right? So he bursts up here and kind of 1-2. Right now, when he works this 1-2, you see how quick his feet are, how quick of a transition it is. I see a lot of people work an open field crossover, and what they do is they'll come here and they'll reach, and they'll open up their toes, right? And now what happens is if you're long with your right leg on this situation, that second move of a double move, right, and your toes open up and your hips open up, right, and everything's open, this guy's going to lean, but he'll be able to recover because I want to explode off of this cut. Now, you see when he makes these two cuts here, it's pushing off the inside portion of his feet, right? His shin angle's at that 45, pushing off the inside arch of his foot, and look where his body's moving. Your body needs to move with your feet. So he's coming up and he's going 1-2. You see how he's leaning with it. 1-2. His body's working separate from his feet. Your feet want to be real quick, real sudden, and your body wants to lean with it. So I step with my left here. I want to move my body to the left. I step with my right. I want to sell with my body and my shoulders like I'm just taking a one cut and running inside, right? That's all we're doing. Like we're working a crossover in basketball. For you basketball players, you guys should be great at this. And you see it freezes this DB. There's linebacker, safety, whoever's walking down. His feet are very stagnant. Feet aren't moving. That's bad technique, obviously, but that's what's going to get him to lean here, and now we're working. Now, could you imagine if this was a vert? He's wide, or not a vert, but could you imagine if the quarterback throws this thing like how he should over the top? He's wide ass open here. But because he underthrows this thing a little bit, we got to go make a play. And again, above the rim, right? Let's go up and get this thing. Strong grip, and you see right when he catches it, it's violent to the tuck. I go up, I'm strong with my grip because I know I'm going to be more physical than this DB. I'm going to be more aggressive than this DB. And right when I catch it, I'm pulling this thing right to the tuck. That's how we protect the ball. That's how we go up for a jump ball, okay? So that's a great job by Courtland Sutton. Working that open field crossover, closing the gap. You line up and you see a DB like off man like this, right? And you got about 5 yards to work. If I could close the gap and just give him a 1-2, I'm off. That's easy money right there. Even if he's in a back pedal and I focus on closing the gap with him and I'm fast, and he's in a back pedal, all I want to do is step on these toes, right? So we step on these toes, we close this distance here, sudden 1-2, then we're bursting up. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So here, 1-2. That's a great job by Courtland Sutton working this route and then having strong hands, violent to the tuck on this catch. Okay, so now, this is obviously I would say like a press bail. This is more so zone coverage. How do we know? Because his eyes are in the backfield, right? But we're not focusing too much on that. If you want to hear me talk more about that, check out that link in the description on my website. I break down defensive coverages. And so he's going to be bailing out of here, right? Now, he's got this huge blind spot back here when he's bailing out with his eyes to the inside, okay? He's trying to run this route for us, trying to stack us here. Let's watch it full speed. So he's just going to be running this stop route. But the whole time, he's in this blind spot, and that's where we got to be, right? That is 100% where we got to be. So receivers, if we see this look, we want to live in this blind spot right here. Even if we're running a dig, we want to close the gap with him. We want to get in this blind spot. We want to get him overreacting and then give him a move to sudden stick to that blind spot, snapping down to that blind spot, because it's hard for him to react out of there because it's zone coverage, obviously, right? So he's already thinking bail. He just doesn't want anything over his head, okay? So, but how we make sure that he doesn't make a good break on this ball is we close the gap, we live in this blind spot right here, and that's exactly what he does, and he snaps it down in that blind spot, and you see he's not going to be able to drive on this stop route. If the quarterback gets it out soon, we stay in that blind spot. That's a great job. And yes, we got this linebacker coming underneath because that's his job. He's playing hook to curl area right there, and this guy's bailing, that DB's bailing out of there, but he's not going to be able to react on it if we live in that blind spot and we're in and out of the break quick, okay? So that's what we got to do anytime we see kind of a press bail look like that. So let's watch this thing full speed, staying in that blind spot, being very quick at the top of the break, a little bit too many steps, but obviously, you know, it did what it needed to accomplish in that situation. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments any questions you guys have. I will make sure to get back to you, and I'll see you guys next time.